I'm so excited. So many of you had so many good questions about when a man texts and he just says hi, or how are you, or what's up. He doesn't even ask about your day. He doesn't give you more. And that seems to be an epidemic. Sorry, it's a pandemic. It happens to women I speak to all over this earth. Texting is now the easiest way for a man to avoid or not fully commit to having the conversation that we're wanting, the conversation and connection that we're desiring. Now, I wanted to start off by telling you a quick story. And hi, everyone. I'm glad you can hear me. So glad you can join. I wanted to start off with a quick story about a man. This is just a very common situation. Maybe you've experienced something like this. We had gone out on 2-3 dates. This is back when I was single. I'm, of course, engaged now to be married to a wonderful man. But he was pretty good at texting me. We went out on a couple of dates. It was very nice. We had a great time. And then nothing. It went silent. So first 3 days, I'm a little worried. I'm like, what happened? Was it me? Was it something I said, something I did? These are all really normal thoughts that we all think. We immediately seek that approval from a man. If he rejects us, it's something about us. And then if we can win him back, which a lot of women do, we sort of get lost in winning him back, that we are valuable. We are only valuable if we can win back the man who has rejected us. Okay, so I went through that, and then 5 to 7 days later, finally my better sense kicked in, and I said, you know, his loss. I'm going to pass. And a great question to ask yourself at that point is, how are we doing as a relationship? We. Not what did I do? What am I doing? What is he doing? What's going on in his world? What did I do? Where am I going with this? What am I going to do? Why? That's about him, and it's about you. Make it about we, and say, where is this relationship going? How are we feeling? How are we working? And ask yourself that way. So I asked myself, I said, how are we working? Me and this guy. Not so good. If a man is flaking out early in a relationship, and you have to give him a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, to show you what type of man he is, I can tell you it's not going to work out. It's not what you want to hear. You want to hear that if you keep trying and if you keep showing up and being warm and using filling statements, that he's going to be the man that you're seeking. But if early on he's already starting to flake out after the third or fourth date, he's showing you who he truly is. He's showing you who he is right now, that he can't be in the relationship. So then 3 weeks later, this man finally texts me and says, hey, I just wanted to let you know I lost my phone. Something happened to my phone, and then I had to go to Hawaii on business, and I was wondering if we could get together and hang out. I really had a great time with you. So what do you think I did after 3 weeks later? Pass. No, thank you. If you cannot be in control of your phone, you're a grown adult man and you're losing your phone like a 14-year-old. Don't get me wrong, I've busted many an iPhone, but I am quick to get them repaired. I'm quick to get my life back on track. No, this is not an excuse. It's unacceptable. And he was crushed that I declined his offer. Because men are very used to doing this to women, and women being like, oh yeah, sure, I get it, you lost your phone, because we like them, we like this man. So my question today was about, what do you do when you like a guy and he's texting you things like, hey, what's up? Hello, hi, these flaky texts. Okay, so first off, I'll just tell you, the reason men normally don't text a woman back, I hear you, Tall. She would have done the same, she's saying. The reason guys don't necessarily text a woman back as quickly as we want them to, because we're very fast communicators. We like to have that information now. We get anxious, we get restless. That's your boy energy taking over, that anxiety, that anxiousness. That's your boy energy who's trying to make this relationship happen immediately. and unfold very quickly and get your needs met from that man. So when the man doesn't text you back immediately or it takes him a while, he is busy. He's busy. That's the number one reason. Number two is he's a little worried he's going to get caught up in a really long-winded, long-lasting conversation with you. And he's going to get uncomfortable, and he's not going to want to know what to say. You're going to just be dumping all of your feelings on him, giving him so much information, he just can't process it. So they just avoid it. They just avoid talking to us. So you can heal a lot of that reaction by being a very succinct speaker when you talk to your man and by using feeling statements. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. Now, another reason a man doesn't text back is he's just not sure. He's not sure if you're the girl for him, and so he's got to invest that time with you. And that's sometimes, they're not so sure they want to do that just yet. It's a plane going by. But they will do things like drop little lures and say, hi, what's up? Okay. So I'm going to go over questions and tell you how to talk to the man who does stuff like, hi, what's up? And how you can use this as an opportunity to connect with his heart. I want you to practice on the men in your life that are communicating using hi, what's up, how's it going, just checking in. And I want you to use it as if they're saying, how was your day today? Because men are not the best communicators. They're just not. And they sometimes don't even know. They're looking for connection, and they know they want to talk to you. They want to connect to some woman. You know, on these little devices, there are many women that at any moment they can connect with, and they can feel like a man. Okay? Because they're connecting to a woman. And yes, they will text many women at one time to see who will text back. So I want you to be that one woman that when he texts you, you're going to open up your heart. You're going to express your heart to him. Because ultimately, he may be looking for a booty call. He may be looking for sexting. But you're that girl that's going to creep inside his heart. You're going to get inside his heart. You're going to open up his heart. And if you do open up his heart, and it's empty, or he's not ready, or he's just not available, you're going to know. And he's going to stop bugging you because you're connecting to his heart. You're looking for a loving, long-lasting, meaningful relationship, not just some text conversation to get him through the next 30 minutes of uncomfortable silence in his life. So you don't want to be a text buddy. Okay, so I'm going to go over some of your questions. You had all so many amazing things to say. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. So I'm going to start off. Let me get this. One of you said, well, you know, I think Mia said, if I'm dating someone and they say something like that, or they say baby or hun, it makes me think of that a Beyonce song where he's not really saying a name, he's being vague, so he might be in the company of another woman. And if you're feeling that, if you're sensing that this man is being dishonest with you, the next time you talk to him, I want you to say, you know, I felt really uncomfortable the other day on the phone with you. I noticed my name wasn't being said. Is there something I should know? So you don't want to come out of the gate with accusations or pulling at him, you know, I get worried. No, I felt really uncomfortable the other day when I spoke. I didn't hear my name. Something felt off. Is there something I need to know? And let the man answer you. All right, I'm going to move on to the next question here. Tal says, I know a man who purposely misleads women by text. And if a man texts me hi or what's up, I don't respond. I feel you're wasting my time. You may be right. He may be wasting your time. So why not practice on him instead? Why not practice using your feeling statements to open up this man's heart and see what happens? If more women looked at men as practice instead of like, this might be the one that I'm going to marry and have forever with, or this is the one I really want. If you just looked at him as practice, You might be surprised just energetically how men just start to gravitate towards you because you're a no pressure, no obligation woman. You're just like, here's my feelings, here I am. And then they're like, well, I like to talk to her because when they talk to you, they feel good. And if you can talk to a man and he feels good and you're not having to be this fake cheerleader where you're like, hey, everything's great, how are you? That's totally fake. A man is not going to connect with it. A man is going to connect with your heart. Now, I want to give you all a really quick example. Let's say you're driving home from work and cars are zipping past one another. A guy cuts you off and he flips you the bird. You can go home and tell your guy, well, the worst thing happened to me. On the way home, I'm driving home and some guy flipped me off and I'm so mad. That's option one. Option two, walk inside and be like, hey, how are you? He's like, how's your day? Go, everything was great. And then later that night, you have a breakdown. And he goes, what's wrong with you? And you're like, oh, today this happened to me at work. Or somebody flipped me off. And then here comes the dam is breaking. Okay? So here's option number 3. If somebody flips you off, or if you have a bad day at work, somebody says something ugly to you, chances are you're not going to be feeling that great about yourself. You're not going to be feeling good. And it's going to show in your mood. And if you hide that, you're hiding who you are. So let's say you're feeling a little down. And you're feeling a little confused. And you walk in the door. And he goes, he can tell immediately something's not right with you. And he goes, what's up? And you go, oh, I'm just feeling a little perturbed. I'm feeling a little pissed off. This guy today driving home flipped me off, and it hurts my feelings. You know, what can I say? It just hurts my feelings. And then you connect to him. And that's when he wants to hug you and be there for you and be your savior. All the girls at work, they're all going out for drinks after, and I didn't get invited. And I feel really alone. You know, I feel lonely when that happens. Often a man will try to fix it, and he'll give you advice, which is hilarious. I love it when men try to offer us like advice to fix problems and stuff. It's really funny and sweet. And sometimes they have really great ideas, but let him, and just melt into his arms, melt into his presence. All right, so that was a really good question that you had. Another person said, I don't know, I think he's being cold, but I'd probably reply, hey, hun, how are you? And see what comes up next. Is that what you're really feeling? Christine, sorry. Is that what you're really feeling? Hi, hun, how are you? No, it's not what you're feeling. You're like, hi, what's up, huh? So if you keep getting that sort of thing from him, and it's not what you want in a relationship, you can address it at some point. But I would prefer you try your feeling statements for a good long while and treat his hi, what's up, how are you, as this man just can't communicate very well. And he just is 5 seconds of texting, less than 5 seconds. So just treat it as an opportunity of like, oh, today I'm feeling so warm in the sunshine. I'm feeling so comfortable and relaxed. Connect with his heart in one sentence. And then see what comes next. Now, I talk about this a lot. I have a book called 500 Ways to Speak to a Man. And it goes over every situation you can imagine that can happen with a guy. Cheating, dating, getting that second date, commitment, marriage, porn, you name it. I cover it all in this book. It's available on my website at everheartcoaching.com/ebook. All right, moving on. Dawn says, oh, he's putting it out there to see if there's an interest. But if he keeps doing it, I feel he cannot or does not want a conversation. You are so spot on. You are so spot on with that one. Because either this man is seeking a text buddy or he's seeking real connection. How do you find out? You keep giving him feeling statements. So if you placate him and you go into the like, well, I'm just going to, hi, what's up? How are you? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's great. That's called phatic communication. It's communication that's not leading to anywhere. It's just very on the surface. You might as well talk about the weather. You're not connecting. So I want you to be able to connect to his heart using your true, authentic feelings. So So a lot of you are just feeling like it's small talk. Ashley wrote, I feel like he's making small talk, or he's testing me to see how I react. But I do recognize that he's reaching out, and this is nice. So I care more about what he says after I respond warmly to him. Ashley and I have worked together a good long while, and she knows her stuff. And you're right. This man is still writing to you. Even if it's hi, what's up, how are you? He's still writing to you. So again, practice on him, be warm, then see what happens. You don't have to make anything happen in a relationship for a man to pursue you. You don't have to make anything happen. All you have to do is lean back and let it unfold. I want you to show up with your feelings, know who you are, be able to express your feelings using I feel, I'm feeling, or I felt. Otherwise, it's just not a feeling statement. Be able to express what you're feeling as a woman. I think it's much better when you meet your man at the beginning of, at the end of the day, that you don't talk about work, that you make it about something else that you have experienced today that's felt lovely and beautiful, and you feel like a feminine goddess because of it. All right, so I think that's everybody's questions. Please feel free to ask anything else in the comment section. And thank you all again for joining and asking so many questions. Got a bus going by, sorry. I live near a college, and there's just lots of activity in my neighborhood. But thank you all so much. If you're interested in learning more about my ebook, it's at everheartcoaching.com/ebook. And you can read all about it there. All right, much love. See you soon. Bye.